Okay, let's just dive right into this explainer. Today, we're setting the stage for what is, without a doubt, one of the most devastating and world-altering events in human history. We're looking back at August 1945, a moment in time that literally reshaped the globe and ushered in a completely unprecedented era of destruction.
To really grasp what happened here, we have to understand the sheer, terrifying contrast of this moment. Think about it, incredibly bloody grind of a global war. But that reality was about to violently shift. We went from a protracted, agonizing struggle to, terrifying split-second devastation. Humanity had actually developed a weapon powerful enough to wipe out an entire city in mere seconds. It's almost hard to wrap your head around.
So by the late summer of 1945, the grim reality was that World War II had already destroyed millions of lives. Countries all across the globe, on literally all sides of the conflict, were just completely and utterly exhausted by years of total war. Cities burned continuously across Europe and Asia. The sheer scale of loss was almost unimaginable. Nations were desperate, they were drained, and they were looking for absolutely any end to the continuous bloodshed. And right there, that is the dark, weary stage onto which the atomic bomb was introduced.
It was a seemingly ordinary morning when an American B-29 bomber named the Enola Gay flew high over Hiroshima. I really want you to notice the exact time here, 8:15 a.m. People were just starting their mornings, commuting to work, going about their normal daily routines. It's such a mundane, everyday time. And then, at exactly 8:15 a.m. on August 6, 1945, the atomic bomb known as Little Boy was dropped. The absolute suddenness of it is hard to comprehend. 1 second, normal morning. The next, this massive explosion lights up the sky. Let's just take a brief moment to really acknowledge the gravity of that split second.
140,000. Historians estimate that by the end of 1945, around 140,000 people had died in Hiroshima as a direct result of the blast and its immediate aftermath. It's just a staggering, overwhelming number. Just let the sheer volume of that loss sink in for a second. But the nightmare, tragically, was not over. Section 3. Nagasaki. 3 days later. The second strike.
Just 3 days later, on August 9th, another American bomber targeted the city of Nagasaki. This second bomb, given the codename Fat Man, created another devastating, blinding explosion. Once again, entire neighborhoods were instantly leveled, like completely wiped off the map. Thousands more people were killed in a flash, completely unaware of this unparalleled force falling from the sky. 70,000. By the end of that year, approximately 70,000 people had died in Nagasaki. It's another incomprehensible loss of life, all concentrated into a single devastating moment.
When we look at this side by side, the totality of the event comes into sharp, horrific focus. On one side, we have Hiroshima on August 6th, the Little Boy bomb, resulting in around 140,000 dead. On the other side, Nagasaki just 3 days later, the Fat Man bomb, resulting in roughly 70,000 dead. This is an absolutely unprecedented level of destruction inflicted on two cities in a span of less than a single week. It literally shocked the entire world to its core.
The rapid succession of these events is just staggering when you look at the timeline. August 6th, Hiroshima is bombed. August 9th, Nagasaki is bombed. The sheer shock and awe of these two events precipitated an incredibly abrupt conclusion to years of global fighting. Soon after these bombings, Japan announced its surrender. World War II, the deadliest conflict in human history, finally came to an end. The world had permanently changed in just a matter of days.
Take a look at what the survivors actually had to endure. Those who made it through the initial blast suffered terrible, agonizing burns and a terrifying new medical phenomenon, radiation sickness. In the immediate aftermath, desperate families searched through the smoldering ruins, frantically looking for loved ones. The tragic reality is that many families lost multiple generations in a single blinding moment. And the horror didn't just fade with time. Even decades later, survivors continued suffering from complex radiation-related illnesses. The physical and emotional scars of those days, they've never truly disappeared.
Today, Hiroshima and Nagasaki don't just stand as rebuilt cities. They stand as solemn, permanent reminders of the absolute destruction that nuclear weapons can cause. Every single year, memorials are held to honor the victims. Museums and peace ceremonies work tirelessly to preserve the memory of these events. They're there to ensure that as generations pass, the visceral reality of what happened in August 1945 is never forgotten, ignored, or minimized by us.
So I want you to really think about this. What is the ultimate warning history gives us through the shadows of August 1945? Like, why does this matter to you and me right now? Well, it matters because the technology to repeat this devastation, actually scratch that, to repeat it on an even larger, more catastrophic scale, still exists in the world today. The events of those few days serve as a mirror, reflecting our own immense power right back at us.
And that leads us to this final, chilling thought drawn directly from our source material. War can end nations, but nuclear war could end humanity itself. It's a profound, lingering warning that really demands our attention. The dawn of the atomic age showed us exactly what we're capable of destroying in mere seconds. It's really up to all of us to ensure those shadows remain firmly in the past, serving only as a lesson and never as a prologue. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. Keep asking questions and keep learning.